The current context for the EU is that they're facing 20% tariffs from the US, maybe more in some sectors. There is a window of opportunity to negotiate at the moment, but such negotiations tend to be very long, often take years, not days, to conclude. And the difficult issues which we had in the last negotiations with the US from the Obama years, particularly agricultural trade, have not gone away. If we don't get a deal and the Trump tariffs come into effect, then the EU will certainly have to retaliate. Our research has indicated that there is a smart way to retaliate. So rather than just applying the same tariff across the board, which tends to be the US approach, our researchers have found there are certain sectors where we could impact more on US policy than others, particularly, for example, in the transport sector or in chemicals. Of course, it doesn't mean we're going to win the trade war. No one wins a trade war, but we can reduce the negative effects on Europe and maximize the negative effects on the US by having a more smart mix in our imposed tariffs. If the trade wars were to trigger major decoupling from key trade partners like China, certain regions of Europe would gain, particularly the more traditional manufacturing hubs, the second-tier cities. But other parts of Europe risk to actually see their economies shrink, for example, Eastern Europe or Southern Europe. And so it's very important that we have policy interventions that help those regions to deal with these kind of major shocks.